Hey everyone, welcome back to the Citystead. I am in the greenhouse today. You are getting ready to watch part 4 of our greenhouse build. Now, it has been raining for a week, as most of you know, up here, and it pretty much rained half of today. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some creative angles from inside with the camera so we don't get wet, because I don't have any kind of rain protection for it. So I'll do the best I can. But it is going to be weird because we're putting the outside walls on today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me tell you what I got. So I was going to use plywood on the outside. So I got 8-foot by 4-foot sheets of plywood. Now, I live in the city and I drive a smaller car. I don't have a truck. So I had to get a little creative with how I was going to transport those home with me. And your friendly people down at Home Depot will gladly cut anything for you if you wait and get somebody to help you. And what I did was I took the 8-foot by 4-foot sheet and I had them cut it in half long ways. So then I had 8-foot by 2-foot wide, and that fit right in my car in the passenger seat. I reclined it down, slid the sheets right in over top of the seats, and that worked great for me. I was able to get them home that way in my car. So I'm gonna go get them out so we can start putting them up. Don't mind my messy car, but just so you guys can see, that is literally what I did. Had them cut them 2-foot, rip them right in half, and I stacked them up, slid them all the way in. They fit in there perfect for me. So that's a good way to get them home if you don't have as much space and you don't have a truck. That's how I did it, and it worked out really good. So we pull those out, we gotta get working. All right, so when I measured this thing, I measured that it was a little under 6 foot. So I knew that I needed 1 full sheet of plywood and a half. So when I was thinking about how I was going to get it home also, and I was thinking, oh, if I ripped them in half long ways, I not only could carry them in my car, but I'll also have those 2 half pieces already cut for me. And I don't have like a big table saw or a woodworking shop, so it's not easy to do stuff like that, like rip an entire sheet of plywood in half. So having them do that for me was already kind of easier than what I would have had to do elsewise. So another good thing about ripping them in half that way and bringing them home like this is that it's a lot easier for one single person to move a 2 by 8-foot little panel than a 4 by 8-foot panel. That's pretty hard to move, really. So this is kind of things that I'm hoping that you guys get from what I'm doing, is that I have to innovate a little bit because I don't have trucks. I don't have this or that, and I don't always have access to stuff like that. Sometimes, yes, I can get a truck. Sometimes I can't. So you have to figure out how to do stuff and how to make it work for you. And the fact that I do a lot of this on my own is another thing. I got to think, how am I going to be able to maneuver, handle, and move things, by myself doing this? And this is something I came up with, and I was thinking that's going to be a brilliant idea and it's going to work great for me. And so far, it has. So now I'm going to go ahead and get our first one down here, and I probably won't get to do any cutting on this first one. It should fit in here right under our window and it'll go straight across, and we'll just screw that one on and get it good to go. As you guys can see, the bottom piece is pretty easy. It went on real smooth to go straight across. I don't really have anything on the outside extra to cut off because my greenhouse is a perfect 8-foot wide, same as a sheet of plywood. A little bit of planning did go into this. So now with the next one, we do have to make a cut because I want to have a window here. And this is simple. So I set this sheet up here. I put a couple screws in it to hold it in place on the outside. I'm just going to take a pencil and that's it. Now I gotta know where I gotta put my cut. I'll cut out my little window. I'll put this back up and it should be good to go. I might do the outside. I'll trim the outside too. This has got a little extra on it. But I'm going to do that same way. I'm just going to mark it. And I'm going to probably cut it a little bit bigger than what it needs to be. Let's get doing some cutting. Alright guys, we got the third piece already on the outside. We got to trace the inside to mark it. You can see the first one cut went well. I got a little bit of sand right there if I want to make a nice windowsill. When I put the window in, I'll worry about that, how it closes and opens. But this is going pretty well. So I had this plan in my head and I was like, this will work, and it really is. So excited that it's working the way I thought it would work. And this goes to show you, you could do this by yourself. If you had to build a greenhouse and you had no help, you can do this by yourself, guys. This isn't that bad. Now let's mark her up. Now I am going to mark the outsides of this one and cut them down, because otherwise it's going to have a giant board really wide and it's going to look a little silly. Alright guys, so I've been running out of time. Trying to get this done as quickly and efficiently as possible. So I've already put these boards up, I marked them, I cut them. Now I should be able to just put 4 pieces of the wall up, no problem. Then I got to do the last little bit. So it's going a little quicker this way. Not filming as much as this part. It's just screwing plywood to 2x4s. Nothing really hard about that. Battery check. Okay, so we got both walls up now, and they fit pretty good. Got little gaps in them. Let me show you something over here. So I was putting the boards up, and I got a little bit of gap right here. But I am gonna paint this So when I paint it, I'll probably put a little wood filler or something there to paint over it. What I want to show you is how my pipe insulator worked on the side, which worked exactly how I thought it would. So I put that board on there, and you can see I got a pretty nice seal right there. Now I can pull that plastic inside a little bit more, and I'm going to staple it down or something on the inside, tape it maybe. But it worked really good. I can pull this in a little tighter and then secure it to the panel. So that part worked really good. It got a really good seal on it. I think that should help keep a lot of heat in here. The gaps are not going to help any, so once we get seal those up, it'll be all right. Another thing I didn't do was cut the fins off on here. We call them fins because they just kind of stick out. So what I wanted to do was trim that to be more contour with the greenhouse shape. But I'm really running out of time on this thing, so that might be a spring project when I get a skill saw, because I don't have a skill saw. I'll get one of those and I'll be able to trim that up a lot easier. Probably even be able to do it while it's on there. I don't see that being that much of a problem. So right now I'm going to put the back window on and be almost done with this thing. Well, still got the door, but that's going to get done last. So let's go ahead and try to get this sucker on here. There we go. We used all these spare parts. So those little pieces that I cut out to make the opening is actually just the exact same pieces I fit back in there to make the window. Not to waste any parts that I had. Those inside pieces that I cut out to make the opening is exactly what I put back on this frame to be the window part of it. So pretty good use of all the material I got. What I'm going to do is put a couple screws in the bottom of this thing to secure it until I put hinges on it. Because I'm going to put hinges on this, and I'm going to get one of those arms that you can kind of extend out, so I'll be able to open this outward, you know, depending on what temperature it is out in the day. But I think we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to throw the door on, and then that's it. We'll be done with this thing. So this will be part 4. You guys have seen it all now. I did the walls, I did the frame, I did the plastic. We will do the video of where I tell you how much I spent to build this whole thing. I use a lot of scrap materials, but I'm going to measure out my 2x4s and give you a price on what the 2x4s would be if you had bought them all original. So most of the stuff is recycled stuff I had. I bought a few things along the way, but I try to use a lot of the stuff I already got. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking around for this video. I know it's been a little while waiting for it. And hey, thank you guys for coming by and stopping and checking out our channel. If you're liking it, you know, you like the videos, give us the thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and come back and check us out again. All right, we're out. See you guys later.